Hey, folks. Just thought we'd have a little fun there starting off. Hopefully, hey, I see that we already have Andrew. Andrew's here. Hello, Andrew. And we also have Mr. Richard Clarkson. Wednesday afternoon Pacific time must be time for StreamYard follow-up. There you go. It is indeed 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Eastern time. There you go.
Eastern time. And that is the only time that matters as far as I've been told.
Yeah, just interesting. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Not really, sort of, but yes. I mean, we want to definitely talk about using StreamYard with a co-host, because that's what we're doing. We're doing that right now. We're in as co-host, basically signed in under the same account. Discussion about our first month using the product. Heather's first week, my first month. So that's what we want to kind of go over and talk about and get your input. Those of you that have signed up for it or are using it or are using the free version, feel free to add your comments out there, because one of the biggest reasons and the social part is what we're all about when we do this. It's not just Heather and I sitting here talking, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, well, seriously, because how many times have we gotten into a duo or whatever, and we can talk with each other anytime we want, but this is all about the audience. And that's why we love being able to do this. Bring up comments, like you remembered the audio, which is really a cool thing about StreamYard. You don't have to worry about remembering the audio, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's just on. So that's a really cool thing.
I want to point out that you brought up the other comments and I just brought up that comment. So that's part of being co-hosts. We can do this together. I think that that's something I have missed, because I feel like I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs 90% of the time we do a show. So this part I'm excited about.
I totally agree with you too. I totally agree with you. The thing that I'm missing now, those of you that know me with OBS and bringing in and doing all the different things and the different scenes that I had and stuff, the things that I miss are we're stagnant in two pictures side by side, which is fine. It's just we can't stretch, move, do all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of me being the geek that I am. I miss
all the bells and whistles.
Yeah,
you like those bells and whistles.
I'm kind of going, oh, I wanna.
I know you have nothing to do with your hands now. You're twiddling your thumbs. Well, I will say it is kind of a I don't know if it's a drawback or a negative or a con, however you want to say it, but we both have our green screens, which are pretty much useless during this broadcast because we can't have any fun with them whatsoever. But you know,
I agree with that. I mean, that is so true. I mean,
but maybe StreamYard will. I mean, they're in their infancy, so maybe they will recognize that and bring it on. And we both know that's not a cheap endeavor, so.
No,
who knows?
It's not.
Who knows?
No, it's not. Yeah. And
I like exactly what Andrew said here. Michael misses his toys. Yes. And honestly, we miss you having your toys, because you do some pretty amazing work by flipping those screens around and all with the click of a button. So
that's so true. All right. I was just reading Richard's though. That's pretty cool. Now that I know I can broadcast to my friends via StreamYard, I think that's great. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My problem is I don't have any friends, so I gotta work on that first. So
true. I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
So after a week of using this myself, now I haven't used it more than just a few times, but after using this myself, the ease of it. Now, I have been away from streaming since like November, but honestly, I've been away from running a stream a long time because I've had helpers. I've had T-Dog in here pushing all the buttons and making sure all the cameras worked and making sure everything went live and inputting stream keys and all the other things that you need in order to go live on YouTube or wherever. And I haven't had to deal with that stuff in a very long time. So for me to be able to come in, click a button, click another button, and I'm live. And not just live once, but in two different places. I impressed T-Dog. I'll just say that much.
Yeah. That's a big deal. I mean, that is a huge deal in making it easier, even without the co-host. I saw you when you did that. You did your show, and you showed you were making the point that, oh my gosh, I can do this kind of thing, you know, on my own, and still have the ability to pull in and draw, you know, the people and things like that. There you go.
Yeah, being able to pop in.
Yeah.
That's what he was laughing at. Being able to do this. I was able to do this. Why? Like, click on that button is so quick. Click on that button, click it again to get rid of it, and go right back to crafting. And if you know, if you've followed my shows, I use my hands on a workstation with the camera pointed down. So for me to be able to stop for a second and go over here and click a button and then come back and go back and do the art is a big deal. It's how I used to do this a long time ago, but they've just simplified it. It reminds me of the old days when we first started, but you don't have to have a degree in Hangouts to.
Yeah, that's one of their mottos or MO or whatever you want to call it, is ease of use is a big deal to them. They want to provide a lot and do a lot, but they also want to make sure that it's easy to use. So that's a key thing. I wanted to ask you that too, being a crafter, and you said using your hands and your hands get dirty and things like that. Do you feel uncomfortable going over and having to push a button and all that kind of stuff? Or is it, I mean, is that kind of?
I didn't really, because I have my answer to that is to have a wireless mouse.
Okay.
And so since I have a wireless mouse, I'm able to move the mouse right over here by my workstation out of camera view, and nobody even was the wiser. So
it
worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I like that they're really focusing on mobile and tablets and Chromebooks and all that kind of stuff, because that was the biggest deal for me. And I know I mentioned this in our last show, was Hangouts was the only thing that I knew of where you could do a live stream on a Pixel book or a Chromebook where you could screen share. It was the only one that really provided that.
Where you could screen share specifically. Because, I mean, obviously you could do it with Facebook.
You can still do, you
could do it with Twitter. You could definitely do it with Twitter. But those are limited to that particular streaming platform, each and every one of those, including Hangouts. I mean, that's strictly for YouTube. You wouldn't be able to do that.
That's true.
On anything else. So with this, when you couple a paid account of StreamYard with Restream, it's almost like your options are endless almost. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's awesome. I think they really put some thought into it. They saw what people's needs were. And I know we keep mentioning this, but bringing people's comments up on screen and making you out there part of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at this. Dan showed up and he says, made it, and we can bring him out. He's now a part of the episode. Like prior to that, we could just mention his name. He's like, am I the Dan they're talking about? I don't know. Now he knows for sure because he saw his comment come right up on screen. So I like that. And I noticed today, and maybe it was this way before, but I noticed today that their faces, like when I show Richard is literally a part of this episode. Richard's face.
Yeah, true.
Before, when I did the test, it was YouTube player, or it was the other one,
or Facebook or whatever.
Whatever they came in as. So that's new to me. Is that was it always like that for you?
Yes.
It was? Okay. Yeah. So you have something special going on. See, if only I could be Michael. I mean,
no, I think it's because what happens is, okay, let me try and explain the process. I'm going straight from YouTube. If it's just YouTube, it'll pick up all those images. When you're trying to stream to like Twitch and YouTube, what happens is it doesn't catch all of those icons, and
I got it.
I don't.
So you think it's Restream? It's Restream grabbing those comments and then putting it back in here. That makes it just those icons.
That's what I think it is. Yes. Okay. That's my impression. That's what I think it is. But I don't know that for a fact. I think that's what it may be, though.
Okay. You figured out a way to add some things for you to do while we're talking. I wondered what you were concentrating on, because I knew it wasn't our conversation. I'm just calling you out on that right here.
Oh, hush.
I know. This is Dan says it all right here. We want to be like Mike always. There's no laughing. This is not a laughing matter. This is truth right here.
All right, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
it does make for a pretty cool production, though. I mean, for somebody who isn't OBS savvy, I'm telling you, OBS is intimidating to me.
Yeah.
I'm a crafter. I just want to do the art. I don't want to push buttons like you do. So, you know, that's not my forte, and I don't think that's where everybody out there wants to be. So if you're looking for a really simple way to stream, StreamYard is the way to go. And if you're looking for an even simpler way to stream to multiple platforms, then couple it with Restream and you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hosting together. One thing that's really cool, and we talked about this before we even came in here, we set up a couple banners ahead of time so we could pull banners up, and we both could. One thing when you do that, though, there you go. Join the Tinkering with Tech community. Link is in the description below. There you go. It'll be in the description of this video once it's finished, and it's there. It's actually already there, but that's this cool to be able to bring up those banners and do those kind of things. You can't really customize a lot of stuff. Like you can't, like we said at the beginning, you can't customize images and where they are and the sizes and stuff like that. You can't really customize the banners at the bottom. You can't customize. I mean, you can make them a different color, but that's it. You can't put like multicolor, you know, one first line here, second line there, that kind of thing, and some of those kind of things. So there are things you can do and can't do. You can see I put the Tinkering logo up in the top right. So there is that branding ability, you know, so you can do that.
Well, but I do think though that Michael, you found some workarounds to make it look a little bit more like your style. For example, the video that we showed at the very beginning, you know, a 30 seconds or less intro video like that uploaded into the overlay section. I want to be clear about that, because if anybody's trying to do this, they're going to go, where did you put that video? I don't see where I can put the video. And it's in the overlay section of the branding, when you're into the branding. And I think we've shown in the last video, we showed behind the scenes, you did screen share what that, what the StreamYard looks like for folks. And so if you have any questions about what we're talking about StreamYard specifically and how we made things work, take a look at that video, because that previous video is the one where we showed behind the scenes where the branding was and how you function within StreamYard. Yep,
exactly. So co-host abilities. One thing that I wanted to test when we were live, and you can do this, Heather, you can put a banner in there. I probably won't see it because we have to refresh to get that to work. But what I want you to do is create a banner and put it up on screen. So at least you can still put something on screen that you want to put on screen. So I wanted to test that as we're going. That's one of the cool things that I wanted to check out, see if it's possible, see if you could do that. So
I just added a banner, and I need to edit it because my spelling is atrocious. So this is live, not Memorex.
Reverse roles here, because that's usually me.
I want to be like Mike. Okay, so here's the banner that I created. You can't see it on your end because, like you said, we have to refresh in order to see those changes in here. But you're able to see it on screen, right? Because that's what plays for everybody.
Absolutely, and that right there is what's awesome about the co-hosting part. You can have a co-host that wants to come up, and actually you could actually have said to me in a private chat, because we have private chat inside here, you could have said, hey Michael, I want to put this banner up saying about this. Is that cool? So if you're in there with somebody, you'll be distracted like I was.
I was going to say I could give you some distractions. I will say this though, and this is something that we might save for our community, maybe for those who belong to our community. If anyone, dear Myrtle's here, good to see you.
Yep.
If
and she is part of the community, thank you.
Yeah, if anyone's interested in how exactly we did the co-hosting, because there is a little trick to that, you'll want to ask for that in the community, and we'll be happy to tell you exactly what we did there. But yeah, it's actually quite cool.
Yes, absolutely.
It's quite a cool concept, I think. So.
Yeah, it adds a lot. I mean, it adds a lot of capabilities, I think, too. So you don't have to be overwhelmed by yourself, for one thing.
Right. Okay. So you know me and doing the art show, I tried doing it a couple times by myself, and honestly, I think we all learned years ago when Debbie first started helping me that I really am much better if I have someone live with me. I don't do it by myself very well. So when I have someone in there with me, it just goes much smoother. And having T-Dog here in the room with me was pretty cool, but that's just not a possibility all the time. So when Michael mentioned StreamYard, my first inclination was to get Sylvia back into my shows because she and I are really good partners, and she really does, we do that bickering back and forth stuff that everybody loves. So she and I tested it. She and I tested it by coming in as co-hosts and being able to do exactly what you and I are doing now. And I'm telling you, this is a big deal. This is a big deal because she said, I love it. For her to say I love it is a big deal.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people will feel that way too. I mean, I really do think that's the reaction that you'll get. I think one thing that I wanted to test as well was, I was just thinking of it. I can't remember what it is now. I
just want to bring this up because while you're thinking about that, because that's exactly right. Sylvia is my cousin Russ. So yes, totally. Michael's my cousin Russ when we're doing tech.
Yeah. Those that don't know, Dear Myrtle has Russ, who's in the game shows on Fridays. If you watch our show, he's in, and they partner up and just it's a host co-host kind of thing, just bounce things and work together. So it's really kind of cool.
And if you're into genealogy, that's the person you need to go check out. She's definitely your friend in genealogy. I've been watching a few of her videos. Can you tell?
So you can bring up comments. You can bring in the banners. You could probably add something to branding. Possibly you could maybe add a picture in the section. I want to get the name right. I don't want to mess it up. Backgrounds.
Okay, so we're in the branding section, the branding tab, right? Brand tab. And then you're talking about backgrounds. Now that's what you're messing around with. That's behind exactly us. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. What I would like to do is see if you can choose the other one that we have in there. Just see if you can choose it. You see two of them probably, or you see one?
I only see the one because I didn't. But I could do that probably while we're live. I wonder what that would do. Should we try it?
To refresh? Sure.
Yeah, I'll just refresh. It'll drop me out and I'll come back.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Right. This is what we're doing.
All right. If this is the last time I see y'all, bye.
Have a good one. Hey, we missed you. Where'd you go? So what's cool to me is, okay, Heather drops off. It doesn't really miss anything. It automatically goes to my video. She's back in already, but you don't know that. I have her down as an image down below where I can add her to the stream. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So boom, there she is. Now, Heather, when you're supposedly in the waiting room, can you hear my speech? Can you hear me talk?
Yeah. I was here.
Okay. I was here. You wouldn't let me in. But
yeah. Well, and actually, because I'm a co-host, I could have let myself in, and I could have even messed around with the, this is the one that Michael doesn't like, so that's why I put it on, because that would prove that Michael didn't do it.
I think that's what I wanted to try and see if you could do all of that functionality as well. So that's great. That's fantastic. I love it.
I like this one. This is kind of cool.
This is pretty cool. The only thing I wish you could do is you could change roles. If the other person's talking, put me to the side. I wish there was a way to do that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see. I mean, it's not a possibility now. Maybe it might be in the future, but that might be confusing for a lot of folks too. My only thing is when you're co-hosting and doing a show together with someone, a lot of time you have somebody on an interview, somebody that you're talking to as a, talking heads or whatever, sitting there talking. Sometimes it's nice to have your guest speaker as the main focus and you off to the side, and you can't do that. Since it's mine and I host, that's the only way I can be there.
So the host is always over in this big image over here. I was trying to figure it out because I thought I messed around with this when Sylvia and I did it. And I thought I was able to put her main in, but I guess not, huh?
No, not right now. Can't do it.
No.
Unfortunately. I wish that, I've asked, I've requested it. They listen to all your feedback and stuff. That's the other thing that's nice is that inside here, even live, if I'm having issues, I can click. There's a link here that clicks and it'll open up, and I can actually chat with them. It's pretty awesome to be able to do.
Oh man! So the other day when I was testing, and I'm like, wait a minute, the comments are coming in. Michael says, "Oh, hit that chat button." I'm like, okay. So I hit the chat button. Next thing I know, I'm speaking to one of the creators of this thing. Like we're just chatting back and forth. Like, hello. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Dear Mert says she's watching on the iPhone. Absolutely, you can do that. You can put your own logo instead of the StreamYard logo on a paid account. On a paid account.
Yes, all of these, like you see. How do I point to this? Nope. Like this, that thing right there. So we all get our names in it. That's the part of it. But Michael's able to choose the blue color that he likes so much for tinkering with text. So that's kind of neat. And I, on my show, am able to use my Craft Shack pink that I always use for everything. So that's one of those branding items that you get to customize. And there's not a lot of customizations, but there's little things like that. And that same color carries over when you put up. I thought I would do this so smoothly, and I didn't. But when you put up a banner like this, it comes across with that same color. And notice our names disappeared. Did you notice that? That's kind of so it takes the focus away from that.
Yep.
Takes the focus away from that, and it puts it onto the banner that you just showed. And now you can take it back away. So kind of cool.
And the other thing is, go ahead and put a banner back up there. I want to see what happens when I change it in the theme, because you can change themes now. They haven't come up with a button. Okay, so it does change right away. Yes, and that is so true. What in the heck was that, Game of Thrones? That's all we're going to say.
That's all we're going to say.
That's all we're going to say. We're not going to.
We need to have another show about that.
So that's kind of cool. So you can minimalize and do all that kind of stuff and get that. And like she said,
now, can you hide it? Can you hide it? I put it up. Can you hide it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep. Yeah, I can.
That's cool. I like that. So you're like, absolutely. Heather, you forgot to take the darn banner down. Nice.
Yeah, that's the kind of collaboration that we wanted you to show you folks today, and the things that you can do too.
I want to add too, for those of you who remember comment wrangling in the old Hangouts, and we would use Hangouts Toolbox, I think it was called, and we would have the comments over there, and it would tell us that we had new comments, with a little number. It does the same thing here. So I see that I have 4 new comments since the last time I looked over there.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and so I know that I can go over there and see them.
Mert brought up how many can be on the panel. Just 2. No, you can have up to 6 live and 10 total. They just came out with an update this last Sunday. Every Sunday they do a town hall.
Oh, I wish we had the link for that.
10 total, but 4 of them will be silent down below. And when you bring one up, it drops one out.
Now, to clarify though, those are not necessarily co-hosts. Those are guests within.
No, just guests.
Your panel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just guests. Yeah, we're just using it to the extreme.
We broke it. We broke it. Always breaking it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the total is 10 or 12. I think it's 10. I'm almost positive. They announced it. If you go to StreamYard's YouTube channel, they'll tell you. They also have a Facebook page. It's awesome. Hey, Pam Duthie. Oh my goodness. Good to see you over here. I haven't seen you in a long time. She does a show on Sundays that's live. She goes live and just chats with people, and I usually go in there and say hey to her and stuff. There you go. Watch it on YouTube. There you go.
Good to
and
see
Andrew
you,
says a graphic mute. Oh, that's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're fighting over it now. A graphic mute button.
Hands.
Wild. Yeah, that's right. There you go. No, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this. So this is simulcast live on YouTube. So doesn't simulcast mean that it's like in one place and in another?
Right. So
you're only on YouTube today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think what she's saying is being done on their server and YouTube. I think basically what it is, it's pushing from their server to YouTube. So, but it's not a simulcast. You can simulcast like to Twitch and YouTube or to Facebook and YouTube, but you're paying for two things, StreamYard and Restream. You would have to have a paid for account on Restream. Well, we found out you didn't though, didn't we? We did that the other day, and you actually could do Facebook and YouTube. That was always my understanding on Restream, but I don't know.
You could do Facebook and something else?
And YouTube. Wow. I did it, and nobody ever said anything to me. So I don't know why, or if it's a trial period. I didn't take that any further. So that was interesting. And as far as record, Arthur, we're not recording this. This is being sent to YouTube. Now it ends up on YouTube and there's a recording there. So when you say who can record, I mean, Heather can't record, I can't record. There's no record capability that they have built in.
It's so wherever you send it. StreamYard, you're not actually recording. You could use a third-party tool like screen capture or something where you could actually record what's on your screen, but that's a whole nother ballgame. StreamYard itself sends out a live stream to wherever you choose to send it.
Yeah.
And then you have to have an account set up there already. So if you don't have a YouTube account, you can't just stream to YouTube willy-nilly. You have to stream it to an account you have already set up. If you want to stream to YouTube and Twitch, let's say, for example, then you would need to add to your StreamYard cast, you would need to add Restream. So there we go. Now you do have to have a paid for StreamYard account in order to add Restream to the stream.
Correct. Yes. But you can do StreamYard straight to Facebook, no charge. You could use their free version. Test it out. You can stream straight to YouTube, just YouTube, free. Test it out. You would have their, and I'll show what it looks like just to give them some props because I really like their company.
Yeah, they're awesome. Now, is that always up? Is that always up in the free version?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes. In the free version, it is always up there. Yes. Good questions, though.
Yeah, and they're really, I mean, I suggest checking out both StreamYard and Restream, because then you can see what all is available there. Your particular use case may not require YouTube whatsoever. So you might look at that and go, oh, I didn't realize they also did XYZ. So.
Yep. All about vehicles. Keenan, hello, sir.
Hello, Keenan.
How are you? I like to try and recognize people when they come in, just because like we have that ability.
I mean, we can
put them on screen. I know.
Why
we get
wouldn't
excited
we?
about that. This is the thing that we absolutely love and missed about the old Hangouts, because we used to have a product called Comment Tracker that it was actually an app, I think, for Hangouts. So we were able to do that, and it filled up the whole screen. And that's, we really, this is what we
What
like.
did we spend 2-3 years helping people with that? Being, we called it comment wranglers, where we would handle the comments and bring them up for the guests or for the host that was hosting their show. So all they on.
I'm sorry. That's
all right.
I just wanted to show what it's like when you hit the wrong button.
So
my apologies. Here, now you're on screen by yourself. Sorry.
That wasn't necessary though. Green is not my color, so it doesn't really work very well. But anyway, so but no, like you said, that comment tracker, and I mean, you and I had done multiple videos for folks where they just wanted somebody to come in and interact with the audience and bring these comments on like this. That was everything. Yeah. Everything when it came to these shows, quote unquote, as they were come to be. So now, to me, I think that's much better than what you normally see in a live stream these days.
One thing you can do that's really awesome too is, like, for example, if I wanted to bring Andrew in and I had a way to reach out to him, whether email or something like that, and I just wanted to bring him in, I could send him the link, an invite link, and he could come up in here. and he would come in, and then I'd have to bring him up on screen, that kind of thing. So you can do that kind of stuff. The other thing with branding, some people want to come on, they don't mind coming on, but they really don't want their name out there. So I can turn those off.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I can. So I don't have to display any names. I can just leave that off the whole time, and it can stay that way, and it's no problem.
Well, and I will say that when I come in to this stream, I get to choose what name I want to show. So maybe I just want it to be Heather, or maybe I just want it to be Ms. Crafty Crafter, or whatever. So the owner of all things craftiness, whatever I want it to be.
The other thing is too, is once you do that from when you sign in, it stays that way for the rest of the show. You can't change it.
Even when you refresh.
Oh, really? Even when you refresh, you couldn't do it?
I think I could actually I could change it, but maybe I just ignored that because why would I, right? But I don't know. Let me refresh and I'll let you know. Just kidding.
Let's see what Mert says here. She got a lot talking here. Zoom to Facebook Live worked twice, but now doesn't work. Never connects on Facebook side. Zoom is willing, but Facebook did not permit. You know what? That is so true about Facebook. If you look right now where I'm streaming right now, it's to YouTube. It's not on Facebook. And that's the reason why. They're so uncooperative. It's so hard to find things afterward. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can find this video. You'll be able to find it. I can't find it on Facebook sometimes unless, and it's my own video sometimes. What does Richard say? Turn off individual names, or is it all or it's all or nothing?
All or none.
Yeah. What you're doing is you're turning off overlays, basically. You're the whole overlay, and that's what it is. It's an overlay that comes up on screen. So can an invite be sent to tablets or phones? Absolutely.
I like this question because what I was thinking was, what if we did something a little it kind of hinky because we didn't plan this and I didn't even run it by you first, but I have my iPad and I fixed the problem that I had on my iPad to be able to come in. And so what if we invited my iPad to come in?
I don't have a problem with that. Do it. Yeah.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
All right. It's good. I'm going to have to mute it, I think, right?
No, it'll come in. Well, yeah, you'll mute it, but it'll come in unmuted because it won't hear anything till I put it up on screen and bring it in.
Okay.
So mute one of them. I can't remember. You have to decide which one you want to use. I think you have to use the one off your iPad, the volume and stuff, instead of this. I can't remember. I can never remember which one you have to use. But anyway,
we'll figure it out.
One thing I do,
we won't make anybody out there sick.
Right. One thing that I do, on this same note, I come in with my cell phone. I can come in with my cell phone, like if I want to show something else, like a visual of what's going on, like on my desk or behind the scenes, that kind of thing. So I send myself an invite and I can do that. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat how that works and things you can do that way. So I've actually done that in a test because me, I'm trying to test everything I can and use that as a separate camera. So I can use that as a camera for me as a separate thing.
Isn't that how you did the drawing game when we were doing the drawing game together?
But I used your phone. But I
know that was OBS.
Zoom and OBS, Zoom and OBS and all that kind of stuff. I love it, Dan. Thank you. Dan says, thank goodness I don't Facebook. Thank God.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. All right, here we go. I'm going to click the button. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So we'll see how all that works and how that comes in. We'll see if it comes in. It's going to come in as an extra one of your slots down at the bottom. I think it's, what did I say? 10. I need to go find that out for facts, just for everybody. I'll come back and put this in, let y'all know, like in comments under this video once it's done.
Well, we do have further discussion available for those who are in the community as well. But Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm trying to paste it. Right. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
Dag nabbit.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was a way to. No, okay. Great cell phone idea is what Dear Myrtle says. She says, great cell phone idea. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's just, to me, if I can bring in that other thing, why wouldn't I do that? I mean, use that as another camera. It works perfect for that. One thing that I would like to do one day is everybody always looks, if you're looking at us right now, seeing you can't do this with this. I could do it with Zoom and OBS because I could set up different cameras and scenes and stuff and bring specific people on screen. But one thing that I like, if you're ever watching like a live show interview or whatever, sometimes you'll see them at an angle. They'll have a different camera angle on them or whatever. And that's what I want to kind of bring in. I think that would be really cool because it just adds something so you're not staring. What do they say? I think I heard Dave Brown, who was on Net Friending, and he was talking about this. Give him some props there. I'm sure he's not watching, but if he comes back and watches, he was talking about every 11 seconds. I think it's 11-second rule. You're supposed to switch screens or scenes or backgrounds just to give something, some diversification to what you're doing.
Right.
That's what they do on television. Yeah. That's what they do on television. So,
right.
Let's see. Okay. Dear Myrtle says, Richard, we have 32,000 members. Hold on one second. In one of our Facebook groups, we'd like to get them subscribing to our YouTube channel. Yep. As long as what happened before doesn't happen again, Mert, with your YouTube channel. That was awful. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Yep. Okay. So you got a message?
I got a message that says mobile use is experimental.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm entering, so here I come.
I see the iPad. It just showed up. Yep. Sorry.
I think we're good.
Okay. There shouldn't be any echo. I don't hear any echo right now, so that should be good. Now let's see when I bring it on screen. Let's see what happens. There we go.
It's so a lovely image.
But you could show like your art up on the wall or something with your iPad. You could show that or something different. See, so you got a different angle, different thing. You're showing different things. So this is how you could do that. You could actually specify. So that's your solo layout. Instead of screen sharing, you're actually, showing that particular camera. If I wanted them all, again, this is where it would be nice to have that and have us two off to the side. That would be really cool to be able to do that. Right now, you can't do that. So, and you can see what it looks like with 3 people on. So there you go.
That's actually a really good picture.
It is a good picture. Eileen, hello. How are you? So awesome to see you. I know that you're a huge proponent of this, so I'm glad to see you here. Dan says VCG Construction used to use multi cameras on his live streams. Yeah, absolutely. I've done that many, many times. All right. So I'm going to remove the stream. So if I want to pull that off, I can. And then when I see something come back, I can always go back. Let's see here. We have, there we go. Yeah. Dear Myrtle says, yes, absolutely. Let me go to, I want to go back to the branding here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we got the tinkering with tech branding. Just keep adding stuff. There we go. From Eileen Smith. Oh, look at there. Look at that. $1.99
Thank you,
from
Eileen
Smith. Eileen, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yep. Pam says hey to Eileen. Miss Eileen, you're always so popular on this stuff. And you're a great one to reach out to with StreamYard too. She's done, if you go to StreamYard and search in YouTube, her videos come up first. So she's obviously done a lot.
Always right there first in line to do something new. Have you noticed that?
That's true.
She grabs it, whatever it is.
Yep. And I don't know, Eileen, if you've seen this, I just have to throw this out, folks. I got to take a quick, just kind of a detour here. If you look at the video that I did for our game show, our upcoming game show, it's our 5th anniversary this Friday. You're featured in it. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, Eileen was on our show. Oh my gosh. This kind of stuff a long time ago, but you're in it. So if you want to go watch that, go to my YouTube and check it out. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to throw that out there. Go ahead.
I wanted to mention, because we're talking about having the iPad in.
Yeah.
That I was able to bring in 2 of my cameras So see, I could be working on my desk right here, and you could see it with my iPad.
That's awesome.
And I was able to bring in 2 cameras by doing exactly this, by having the secondary camera brought in as a guest. So perfect, you're able to do that.
Absolutely. Okay, Dear Mert says, so that would be interesting for my new paper crafting of family history booklets and journals. Absolutely. That would actually be perfect for that. You could actually show people what you're doing, how you're doing it, do a live stream. You know, Heather, you can touch on this a little bit because I know that you're trying to get Twitch going and you're working with Twitch and trying to get that over there with the creative part of it and get out there and get known out there. If you want, you can talk a little bit about that. I don't have a problem with that if you wanted to just kind of touch on that, because I know that would be a good place for those kind of things.
Can I get rid of the iPad first?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I also need to cough.
Saw that and was shocked to see Eileen on it. Didn't know she did things like that. There you go. Absolutely. Yep. 5 years already. I know. Isn't that something, Mert? I mean, 5 years. Pretty crazy. Look at there. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I tell you, it's there's good stuff all around. There's a lot of cool things that's going on out there, and this is one of them. StreamYard is one of them. I don't want this to be way too long. We can sit here and talk all night. Maybe we will. I don't know, but
if we can continue the conversation about Game of Thrones, I'll be here all night. But otherwise, no. So I wanted to mention about being on Twitch and trying to get it going on over there because of all of the issues that YouTube has had lately and the difficulty with trying to get into an audience is kind of tough. So one of the things that I thought would be really cool, because you set up a channel on YouTube and you sort of do things a certain way, and then people come to expect that, and then when you do something different, they drop you. Subscribers will disappear. So the things that I want to do differently is to have a more laid back, let's just chit chat. Let's just, I'm going to do what I want to do that's on my desk.
That's what on Mert's comment here. She says, but I'd have to wear makeup. See, you don't have to. Just show your crafting, what you're doing. I think that you can get away with that. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. So more of a laid back look. I just feel like I want to do something and I'd like to have some visitors if anybody else is interested in hanging out. I know several people in my community who are always looking for someone to hang out. That's what brought us together in the first place. So having Twitch allows me to just go and stream to it. And I will tell you guys watching, I've struggled with Wi-Fi bandwidth. That has been my biggest issue since I've been on the road, since I've left Montana. Streaming has been difficult. I haven't been on the show. I have a difficulty using my hotspot. I only have so many gigs that I can do each month. Right. So StreamYard, because it is browser based, I have been doing this entire show with you on our Wi-Fi, which I could never do before. I can't even hang out in the Zoom.
That's so beautiful
with you guys during Q&A because it cuts out.
People flipped out when I set up a mobile StreamYard. I got so many responses back. They were saying, "Oh my God!" They're saying, "Oh my gosh, how'd you do that? I want to know how you did that. That's so cool." And Mert says, "Can StreamYard go to an unlisted YouTube?" Of course, it can go to anything private. It can go to a private YouTube. You can make a private YouTube live. Stream that only you give emails to those people and have them come in. So yes, you could do that for sure.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can use this, and you can even do a little test without actually streaming to any platform. So it's very cool. It's a very neat thing. If you have the opportunity to help support StreamYard, I would suggest getting in on it, because I think the more users, the more support they have, the better they're going to get. They are really on top of everything, and I'm excited about it. So
we already talked about this too. Heather and I talked about this after meeting in person. We talked about it. We really need to do something. We need to find something, and this kind of is helping that happen. We're able to blend this and do this.
Because like I said with my Wi-Fi,
if I can't do a show, Well, if I can't do a show on Wednesday, she could do the show. Whereas before, I had all that stuff in the background, all this fancy stuff, and I never gave her all of that scene collections in OBS. She probably could, but she probably didn't want to be
Are
overwhelmed
you kidding
by.
Me? Well, two things. Number one, I don't want to, because that's not me. Yeah. I ain't no techie girl. I said that when we started this thing. We're going to do a tech show. What am I? Comic relief? Like, there's no way. But the second thing was my bandwidth just doesn't allow it. So even if I had all those scenes and wanted to actually run it, I would not have been able to run shows. But StreamYard allows me to, because it is browser based. And what I was getting at was Twitch. I had wanted to be a part of Twitch for over a year now. I've wanted to try to get in on that, and I haven't been able to because of my bandwidth. It just wasn't enough to get over there and do a stream. I've done a couple of streams over there now. They're great, and I'm using the Wi-Fi. I haven't even used my hotspot yet.
That's so awesome.
That's huge to me. Nobody understands how huge that is, but it's massively big.
It is. I mean, I think there's a lot of people in those same situations too. So I think we have that. Dan says, which is better to watch on YouTube or Twitch? But here's the deal, Dan. I don't know, because right now I'm only on YouTube, so it might be pretty good. I know using Restream and using Twitch and YouTube at the same time, Twitch hands down is so much faster.
What I will say is it's no more prevalent than when you're watching the drawing game where my family and I were with Michael and Sherry in South Carolina, and we did the drawing game together. On my channel, okay, so on my YouTube channel is like a wide angle behind the scenes view of what we did, and that's on YouTube. And then Michael, I think you streamed to both, didn't you, that day?
I did. Yeah. Anytime I do a game show, I stream to both. Yes.
And everyone was saying, if you go over to the Twitch, it's a few seconds ahead. And so they would get the answers to the drawing that much faster. You know, they would know what it was just that much faster than those on YouTube. And then, and I don't remember where I was going to go with that, but yeah, so I think that's been the case.
So you're talking about the Twitch versus YouTube, and I think that the Twitch is so fast. I mean, it's just there's not as much. All of them have delay. They have to.
Right.
It's legal ramifications and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. That's right. Dear Myrtle says, good. That is my workaround YouTube issue from a few years back. Okay, good. Being able to do it to, I'm assuming being able to do it to unlisted. So Wayne says, was thinking of inviting people to cook together with and thinking this might make it even easier. No, it's a whole lot easier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't need that. Well, you don't need that production person. You could just have the screens up there and have everybody on.
Oh, and Wayne knows.
If you wanted to go to one or the other.
And you remember Wayne's setup and how he had all the cameras everywhere, and he had to have his wife helping with the production while the cooking was going on. And I mean, it was elaborate, awesome, pulled it off really well, but not necessary. I mean, his wife could just click buttons real easy, and it would be real simple. Nothing like it has become.
Yeah. Let's see. Andrew was answering Dan. I'm not sure about what though. It really doesn't matter unless YouTube monetization is a factor. I'm not sure.
I think it was from this one.
To watch.
Yeah. Which one do you want? Maybe what Andrew is saying is, it might be better for you for folks to watch on YouTube because that's where you have monetization.
Oh, I got you.
Maybe. I think if I understand it,
that might be. Yeah, for me, the monetization is on YouTube. I don't have it on Twitch, but I don't care.
But please watch over on Twitch so he can follow on Twitch so he can get monetization over there. I'm just saying, I think that's the way we want it to go. I know you don't. That's why I said it.
All right. I understood OBS, but we want to make what we do simple enough for our followers. And that is so true. And I really think this is it because you don't need to download anything. You do not.
Oh my goodness. That in itself. So it's really simple. Inside of here is a little man says invite, much like it does in Zoom. There's a link, much like you would in Zoom. Okay. You send that link. The person literally opens it in a browser.
Or a phone,
if they're on If they're on an iPad, they have to open it in Safari, just so you know.
Right.
They open it in a browser, and then they get to type in their name, choose their camera, and voila, they're in. There's nothing to download. There's no software. I mean, that's just crazy. Bye, Dan.
There you go. Wayne says, yes,
exactly,
Dawn is saying,
Dawn.
thank you, Lord. That's so true.
Exactly.
So true. Yeah, no,
Let
absolutely.
us know how it goes. Let us know how it goes, Wayne. I want to see you guys give it a try.
You just tell me what ingredients to buy, and we'll cook the same thing you're cooking. I'll cook along with you. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
When you said we'll cook,
yeah,
you meant you, right? Because hey, I'll be there and handle comments. I can do that.
Mert asked a quick question here. She said Twitch goes away after 24 hours, right? It goes. Okay,
no, it's longer than 24 hours because mine are still up.
24 hours. It'll keep your last one up there. Pretty much.
I don't know how long it lasts. I don't know how long it lasts. I don't know if it's like 30 days or something, but it's definitely longer than it's been a week since the last stream I did, and it's still there.
Yeah, so. Twitch is so hard to get into the creative end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ask a gamer here, understand this, Mert. Let me just tell you this way. Twitch is for live. That's it. Yeah, there's no replay. There's no replay, rewatching. No. I mean, there is.
I wouldn't say it like that. But that's not what
they're driven. They're not driven to do that. You find all these people that don't do that. So
I think the simple answer is to say the Twitch atmosphere, and this is kind of what I was leading into earlier, is that the Twitch atmosphere is different than the YouTube atmosphere. So like YouTube has this feeling of, I came here to watch something specific. I want to learn this, a how to that, whatever. And I'm going to sit here and watch it. Whereas Twitch kind of has like a on in the background, like you would do with a TV show you've seen a million times, maybe, and watch on Netflix. That kind of mentality, that's Twitch. And then, of course, there's the diehard people who will hang out with everything and be there for every conversation, but you're going to have that on every platform. Your fans are going to be there. But generally, Twitch is more of this laid back, casual, in the background while I'm at the office or whatever type of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube is a lot more specifically driven. I expect to watch a video on XYZ, and that's why I'm here. So it's different. It's just different. And I only know that because of all the research I've been putting into it, all my own watching, seeing how audiences react in various platforms, various genres, and experiencing the same exact thing, whether it's a gamer show or a crafting show or some other weird stuff that's there. But
I think it'll take some time. I think it'll take some time for that for the creative side, because that's not what's making them money. People are watching videos.
It's definitely not. But I will say there's cooking there too, and I've been watching some cooking shows there too.
Have you?
Yeah.
And do you like them?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some personality issues.
I watch the Food Network, so I totally get it. So I mean,
but I mean, it's like anything. It's like anything. I can talk about this all day, right? It's like anything. No. If you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. Just express it, and this gives you a platform to do it on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see here too. He says, that's exactly what I was thinking. Schedule date and a recipe. There you go. I think that'd be awesome.
I will be there to handle comments. Please.
Yeah, Mert says, wondering why Michael's
Can you guys send me samples when you make them?
No. My background is blinking because I have whatever camera I selected. I did not turn off whatever I was supposed to turn off. Tell them, Heather. I don't know. You know the technical stuff on that.
It was the white balance and all that stuff is on auto.
Thank you. Yes. There you go.
You have to uncheck the auto.
You are more than welcome, Mert, for the Twitch description.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I think we've gone over the half hour we were going to give to this conversation, but I wanted to make sure that everybody understood how simple StreamYard is, how easy it is to even multi-broadcast using Restream within StreamYard. That does take away the free aspect of it. You do need to pay for StreamYard in order to utilize Restream, but you don't have to pay for Restream to go to 2 channels such as YouTube and Twitch. I only know that for my own experience so far. So.
Right.
But yeah, we have the community. Are we going to do an after show for community members and invite them in?
Yeah, just like we always do. Absolutely. We will do an after party. I'll put it in the Discord channel that everyone
And if we have more than 6 people, then we'll have to go to a Zoom, right? That would be the difference here.
We can go to 10, but only 6 can chat at a time.
I
so
see.
we could bring Andrew in and just keep him muted. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, interesting. Now, if Terry was here, I would jump all over that.
No,
but okay, so the bottom line is if we end up with more, then we'll just switch to a Zoom and it won't be no problem. Okay.
Either that or whatever. Yeah, we'll do that however we want to, but we'll start out here so you can kind of get used to the environment and see it as a test. So any member, community member, I'll put the link or we'll put the invite into the Discord. So that way you have the link and you guys can come in here and at least see it from a viewer's standpoint. Those of you that are watching this later, thank you so much. If you want to join the community, it is a paid for community. Feel free to join. It's $10 a month. What does that get you, Heather?
Well, for starters, I mean, it gets you into the back end of every one of these shows. So you get to come in right away with your questions and get to see exactly what we're talking about. If we have a guest, you get one-on-one with that guest. It's quite nice. But then one of the really cool things that I think is the best, not just that community where we all chat and ask questions and everything, but to be able to say, hey guys, I have a problem. And within a few hours, you usually have it either solved or at least acknowledged, and we dive deeper and try to figure it out. So, I mean, we've done everything we can to make helping others as easy as possible. And we've had many people say, you know, you guys should be getting paid for this kind of stuff. So kick us $10 a month, and that's what we do, and we love it.
Yep, and I just want you to know it's not so Heather and I can get rich. It's actually so we can buy programs like this and utilize them and use them.
I would love it if it was so we could get rich, because that would mean we'd have thousands of members. Because that's what it would take to get rich at $10 a month. But, right? Am I wrong?
No, that's true. And I'm not gonna. I see a comment, so I'm gonna pull it up because this is Nelio. He says, "Will StreamYard look to support Castr in the future?" I'm not sure what Castr is, but I'm sure maybe it's a streaming service.
Okay, so see what this does right here. Hold on. What this does right here is whenever we get something like this, Michael and I usually then spend the next couple of days trying to figure out what that is. If we don't know, we figure it out. So, I mean, that's another thing that we do.
Yeah. In the community, we definitely do that for sure. The other thing is that may be a streaming service. And if it is, where you can put in the URL for that service and then put in the live stream, the stream key. If you can do those two things on that service, then you can use this. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but you can do that. All right. It's been an hour. We need to stop. We're going to stop and bring our community in. Thank you everybody so much. Those of you, and
Myrtle will take care of you.
We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. We can reach out to you on Hangouts or whatever. So no problem. No problem on the Discord, but I'm glad to get you in.
Thumbs up from Nelio.
Yeah, thank you everybody for showing. And Nelio, if you need more info or whatever, just put your comments down in there. Show up to our shows. We may do a new times. We're trying to experiment some stuff. Give us your feedback in the comments here. I'd love to have your feedback, especially if you're watching later or those of you that came today. Would you rather see it at a different time, or would you rather see it like we used to do, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Eastern, or maybe in the afternoon?
I'm voting for earlier.
I know you are. And we may do that. I mean, I might be able to do that too. I might be able to pull that off. And if I can't do it, you could do a show. So we do have it where we can do that. And we have that ability right now, which is fantastic. So, and we might have 2 shows, or whatever, do one in a day.
I like that too.
Whatever. I mean, we can do whatever. And because you might have a guest that you could bring on in the afternoon, it works better or something like that. But please give us some feedback out there. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and joining us. Thank you. Appreciate you. Boom. Got to get the timing